Hello, everyone. Heather here, your YouTube coach, which I'm excited about that title because that's a new revelation I came to this past week. But anyway, welcome to the second episode of this live stream broadcast podcast. I still haven't come up with a name for it, but I'm excited about it. I think there was great feedback from the first one, so I'm going to continue this on. And today, what I'm going to be talking about is two things that I think are super essential and things that I've been working on or trying to focus on with my tutorial channel, which is how to build a community and how to build a brand. So if you are building a YouTube channel and you haven't yet kind of approached YouTube through these lenses, I encourage you to give this podcast a listen, because I think people often take it for granted. What I've noticed when it comes to building a YouTube channel is that it's not just about making videos. If it were that, then anyone can make it on this platform. But really, what draws the viewers to become subscribers, to become fans, and then fans could be anything. Fans could become customers and clients. They could buy your merch. They could support your channel. I mean, all of the things that we want. It's predicated on building a community to bring people together so that they can go through that like growth with you. And then also the branding aspect, right? A brand doesn't come to life based off of one video, right? You need it's not even just content, really. It's all the interactions that people have with your brand, comments that you leave, your look and feel and colors and all of that. So that's what I want to kind of delve into today. But before we jump into that, if you are just listening to this for the first time, I do this live, but I I record this knowing that most people are going to watch the replay, and I want this to be more of like a podcast so that you can listen to it on the go. If you're building a YouTube channel, so that you could just we could just get to the point and focus on the essential stuff. And then if you want to stick around for the Q&A, I'll definitely, like, if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments and I will check them towards the end. So if you think I'm ignoring you, I'm totally not, but it's the whole live stream podcast thing. All right. So I listened to my first episode of this show, and I caught myself saying the same idea over and over. And I definitely wanted to clarify that, which leads me to the first point about building a community. And that's the thing that I kept saying was that, like, I don't care to grow this channel, the one that you're watching this podcast on. I don't care to like grow a community here. I don't care to, this is a vlog. This is just a documentation of my journey. It's for me. I just want to be able to have a chronicle of my journey, and et cetera, et cetera. And I want to clarify that is not true. Like, I definitely care about all of you guys, every single person who has subscribed, who has been on this journey with me. Obviously, like, so much of the interaction that we have together has significantly impacted my entire, everything that I've been doing. Every single thing really does make an impact, even though it's just a small comment or a message. I really take these things to heart. So, I care about this community. But what I mean in terms of, I don't care to grow this channel. And if you're just listening to this and not watching this, I'm throwing up air quotes here. But I think when it comes to YouTube, it's so easy to spread yourself thin. And I think it's really important to focus on one goal, to have your eye on the prize, right? Because if you start thinking about things on a, on a micro basis, then you can go all up in your head, and every little thing can like slow you down. You could start analyzing the views on one single video, and it's like, dude, you need to zoom out and think about your brand overall, or your community overall, right? So as I was saying, my end goal is to build the brand of being a YouTube coach, so I can help as many people as I can to share their stories, right? That's my end goal. So knowing that, that's what I mean about, I don't care to grow this channel. If I had to pick one audience, it's going to be the other one. That's the thing that I want to be known for. If people want to see, hey, you're teaching me about YouTube, where's your YouTube channel? I could be like, here, It's right here. I've been blogging since April 2016. I've been documenting my journey. If you want to check it out, here it is. I've made over 500 videos, blogs, live streams. I've done it all. So I care about you guys, but you know, it again, like, it's really easy to spread yourself thin on YouTube. And I just did a video on my tutorial channel about whether you should start, if you want to start a second channel because you've come up with this other really cool idea. When you're building a community and you're building a brand on YouTube, it's kind of discouraging to hear, but it is important to have a focus. It is important to maybe not have a niche, but if you think about just how people naturally interact just as humans, if it's going to be so much easier to describe your channel, right? As a viewer, for me, if you're known for one thing, right? You could totally branch out later. We can have that conversation after you've hit 10,000 subscribers. But until then, you really just want to focus on, one goal, one brand, building that out, and just don't deviate. You could always adapt. You could always enhance, improve, try to experiment and do different things. But, you know, try not to distract yourself and your community from your end goal. Begin with the end in mind. That's a quote from Stephen Covey. But try to, take a piece of paper, write out what everything looks like when you have hit 10,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, etc. And then backwards plan, right? Like, what does your channel look like when you get to that point, when you cross that finish line? Going back to the community aspect. Okay. How do you build a community, right? It's not that, how do I explain this? So it's not just about the one video, right? Because we want people to subscribe so they watch multiple videos. There has to be a reason why people subscribe. And I think a lot of what it is that people resonate with the creator, right? They want to feel like they relate to someone. So when you're building a community or you're thinking about your own YouTube channel, there are 3 ways that this interaction can happen, okay? There's the most obvious one, and I think the one that we focus so much on, which is between the creator to the viewer. We are trying to share something. We want, we're making videos, we're spreading our message, we have something to say, and we're saying it to the people who are watching. So that's one-way interaction, right? The beauty about YouTube is that it's not just one-way interaction, it's two-way, right? Our viewers and subscribers can interact with us. They can comment and we can converse and engage and talk. And, there's a whole open dialogue that can be open, not just the one time for the one video, but for several videos, right? So to have that interaction, not just from creator to viewer, but from viewer to creator, is powerful. And if you are still building your channel and you are not responding to your comments, like, it would be the equivalent of someone trying to shake your hand and you're just like, no, or even like more awkward, like someone's trying to high five you and you just walk away. That's what that equivalent is, So if you can, like, I would assume that if you're watching this, you're probably not at that point where the amount of comments that you get is not overwhelming. I'm sure you're still at the point where you see every comment that you get and you can respond and engage accordingly. And I think that's super important in terms of, like, think about it. When someone responds to your comment on YouTube, how delighted do you feel, right? Like, you want to convey that same feeling, even though it's just a simple reply, one sentence, one emoji. It just shows that you care, right? And that's what builds the community. But the other cool thing about YouTube when it comes to community is that there's a third aspect here, and that's between viewer and viewer. You're not even involved anymore. And I think you need to have both, right? The creator has to be sure about the message that they're saying. The viewer has to understand, like, okay, I know what I'm signing up for. I'm engaged. I want to give feedback to this creator. I want to say, like, hey, can you make a video about this? Or I love this video. And there's that that participation in the growth of the channel. But the magical thing, once you have those two pieces in place, is that the viewers start to talk to each other, and you have this magical platform that's there, that's set up because of you, where you're connecting people all around the world through your content, through the mutual interest of what you're showing or talking about or whatever, right? And that is like, I think the like I said, the magical aspect of YouTube is because once you provide the platform where people can just talk to each other, like they're gonna keep coming back there. If you do a live stream, they're gonna come because they want to see their friends, right? Like now such a bigger reason to spend more time on your channel. And then plus, like, these people, they're super fans now. Like they're not only have you know given them some kind of value through your content, but now there's this like um like indirect value that's coming from being able to interact with like-minded people, is what it comes down to. So again, like just going back to this idea of like people just want to relate to someone, even if you are an entertainment channel where you're just doing like comedy or parodies or music stuff, like even if it's just more entertainment based and less tutorial based, you're still, I mean, think about meme culture. The reason why memes are so shareable is because people share them with, there's something about the meme that makes people share them, because there's that thing, like everyone knows what it feels like when this happens, right? Like it's that mutual feeling of like, I know what this feels like, right? And that's what, I know that's really like, I know we're talking super zoomed out, but I think it's important to think about that so that you're not just so focused on the one video, and I have to catch myself. I mean, heck, this week was hard for me in terms of my channel because I started second guessing myself, and I know that that's going to happen. If you're going through that, it's totally normal. It happens with every creative endeavor. So it's not just you, and it's not just YouTube. But it's important to remember, like, I think we forget the power of a view, one view, and we don't know the impact that our content is making. Like, we don't know. What if someone takes that video and shares it with their friend? Like, you're building a community beyond what you know? So that's just something I wanted to talk about. If you focus on like, okay, here's been my motto for Q4 for 2019, to make sure that I am like at a certain point before 2020. This is the three things that I've been telling myself with everything I do: YouTube, business, entrepreneurship, everything. Okay. Giving, caring, serving. That's it. Giving, caring, serving. How am I giving? How am I showing that I care? And am I doing my best to serve my audience? If you got those three things, you could totally grow your channel, monetize, make money off of this. Like, it's the perfect recipe of being a successful content creator today. Straight up. It comes down to those three things. How are you giving? How are you showing that you care? So like, if someone's going to leave you a comment, are you just going to leave them hanging? Or if they're going to reach out to you through DM or whatever? And then serving, like, once you get some traction, even if it's just 5 people and they have other questions, they have follow-up questions, or you notice that like they're bringing up issues that you haven't yet talked about. Well, there's a new video for you. Like, now it's even tailored to the people who are already watching you, right? And if one person has that problem or wants more information about that thing, so does someone else. And that's how your community is going to grow. All right. So that's topic number 1. Topic number 2 today is branding. I think that's the thing. Like, for sure, people don't think about community building when they think about YouTube. There's so much focus on video production and storytelling. And of course, that's all super important. I think that should be an ongoing part of the journey. But at the end of the day, like, YouTube is all about people. it just so happens that the medium that we connect with or through is video, but it's about people. It's about connection. It's about interaction. And when it comes to branding, if you upload videos with no strategy, it's just noise. It's just noise. If you have no idea who you're making your video for, then how is anyone going to know like why they should watch your content? And if you think about the overall picture, like it's really tricky to get someone to subscribe after watching one video. I think that's really hard. It's hard to do that. Most people have to either watch one video and then see what your channel's about before they hit subscribe, right? What am I signing up for? Am I even interested? Like, was this video a one-off, or is there going to be like more of this content that I'm interested in? And in order to kind of paint that picture, that's where the branding is really important, because if your videos are all related and connective and cohesive, then that contributes to the brand, right? Like, I should be able to describe your channel and who you are in one sentence. It should be very clear. And when it comes to branding, you only have so much control. You could say, you could tell someone that you're a YouTube coach, for example. Oh, here. I'll use a different example because I want to use something that like is more generic. So say like I'm all about cookies. I love cookies. So say like your channel, you're telling people like you bake cookies and you teach people how to bake cookies on your channel. But then like a lot of your content is about gardening or is about vlogging, even like just your life. It's going to be really hard for someone who catches vlog number 41 that has nothing to do with cookies to be able to describe, what you're about. There has to be some kind of cohesive, like always going back to the brand and thinking about like, how do you come up with the brand? Even if you're at zero, right? Even if you're at zero, you have to backwards plan. Like there has to be some you know why you're doing this, right? Like you have an idea of why you're creating content, why you're freaking putting in all the time and effort and energy to building a channel. So think about the end goal and then backwards plan. Like don't worry so much about like, oh my God, my last video just got 10 views. Like, God, this sucks. You can't have success without the brand, and the brand doesn't come to life until you have a cohesive story between multiple pieces of content. Period. Like forget subscribers and views. Like you need to have that much substance. That's a great word. Substance. You need to have enough substance to bring your brand to life before it resonates with anybody, right? And the thing that I've been working on, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want it to be helpful for you, but I also want to show you that I'm struggling with the same thing. But like, I'm a YouTube coach, right? And this is what I was talking about when I first started this podcast. I'm really excited about this idea of being a YouTube coach because I started my channel, my tutorial channel, like, okay, words, Heather. I started my entrepreneurial journey with this mission, okay, to educate and empower people to utilize digital media to achieve meaningful goals. That's like the big picture. Now let's take it a step down to be more granular, to be more specific. All right, I want to educate and empower people to utilize YouTube to achieve meaningful goals. So not just digital media in general, YouTube, right? Now, on my channel, because it's an older channel, I made it when I started my entrepreneurship, right? Because it was supposed to be digital media tutorials in general. I have, my most successful videos are like, what's a hashtag? How to make a LinkedIn profile for high school students, and like how to edit a vlog. These are my most like 20,000, 30,000 views. Now, I have been spending a lot of time making YouTube specific tutorials because I am a YouTube coach, right? So that's the brand vision. My end goal is if you go to my YouTube channel, There's a beautiful library of content to answer every single question that any aspiring YouTube creator has. And it's all beautifully sorted and organized so that you could find exactly what you're looking for. So, with that in mind, I don't want to focus so much on the reception of every single video. If I push upload, no one watches it, 6 people watch it, 25 people watch it, that's fine because I know it's the overall brand at the end, right? But here's where I got discouraged this week because one of the most popular requests that I get for a video is how to do YouTube tags. How should I tag my videos, Heather? How do I do SEO? Like, how do I find tags that work? Blah, blah, blah. And I know I have to make this video because if people are asking for it, obviously I want to be able to show them that answer. But here's where my like analytical self-doubting self comes in to try to stop me and like slow me down is that obviously I want to also try to maximize the potential of discovery for every single video, right? Through tags, because that's a huge way that YouTube works. If you can rank number one or rank in general for certain keywords, then anytime someone searches that keyword, they're going to come to your channel, right? I know this, but in my niche, which is teaching people how to do YouTube, I'm competing with professional YouTube search taggers. If anything, I learned how to tag videos effectively from them. So because we're kind of like, we're in the same niche, I'm never going to outrank them. They've already been doing this a long time. They have the library that I'm trying to build. And they know tags like so well. So for me to compete is hard. Like it's probably not going to happen. And so I started thinking like, all right, I'm not going to compete on this front, right? But what is the thing that makes me different from everyone else in this niche? Like, what am I adding to the conversation? Because really, if someone wanted to ask me like, how do you do tags on YouTube? All I have to do is link anyone else's channel in this niche. Like, there's so many people who are already doing it. That video has been made, 2,000 times over. I just have to refer to that video. Like, here, you know what? Go watch this video. I have nothing new to add to the conversation. So what's my thing? What's my differentiating factor? What makes me unique? What makes my channel remarkable from everyone else who's doing the same thing? Well, you could say, all right, cool. Heather has her own vlog. She's been doing this. Like, she actually has a thing that she's making. It's not just her YouTube channel isn't just about teaching people how to make a YouTube channel. She actually has a separate YouTube channel. So that could be one thing, right? She's got purple hair. She's like all about purple. That's another thing. But the other thing I was thinking about is what I really like doing is motivating people. I really like coaching people. And I've been really thinking about this difference between teaching and coaching. So teaching is just like transferring information. Here's step 1, 2, and 3. Here's how you do it. And then I just give you that information, right? That's teaching. Coaching is you already know the steps, but I'm here to help you help yourself. I'm here to help you. YouTube is a long game. We're here for a real long time. And everything is going to get in your way. You're going to get in your way. Life is going to get in your way. You're going to get super busy. You are going to have a huge learning curve when you get a new camera. You're going to run out of ideas. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to get a negative comment. Like there's 1,000, every day there's an obstacle preventing you from creating more. And what I want to do, what I think I bring to the table is to coach people through that, to make them focus, like to keep them focused on, eyes on the prize, to keep them going. Because none of that matters, right? Of course it's data, but really you are the one who's going to bring your YouTube channel to life. You just have to make the videos, and there's an ongoing improvement factor in that. We could always make our videos better. We could always learn, there's always something to learn with every single video you create. But it's discouraging when like you put all this time and work and effort into a video and it gets like 10 views. Like, isn't what how is that not a blow to the ego? Like you're so excited, you're so enthusiastic, you put the time to make this awesome video and no one sees it. Like how does that not make you want to stop? Right? And what I think I'm going to bring to the table is like, yo, I'm your coach. Let's get back up again. Let's just keep going. Let's keep practicing. Let's keep getting better and blah, blah, blah. So now knowing that, I think it's going to be tricky for me to create my content because I kind of want to stray less about the how to. I think I have to create that. I think I have to have that on my channel. But I think the thing that's going to really differentiate my channel from the other people in my niche is that coaching aspect, and that's not searchable content. That's not like, a lot of people aren't typing in how to stay motivated as a YouTube creator. Like no one's typing that in. Everyone's like, how do I get more views? How do I get more subscribers? How do I make better thumbnails? How do I edit a video? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm a little worried about that, but also I have to tell myself to focus on the brand. Like I want to trust that YouTube will do its thing. I will do my best to tag every video that I can in like the best way. But I also want to believe that like the number one metric that matters when it comes to growing a YouTube channel or for YouTube growth is watch time. Watch time. Okay. So if your videos are tagged and ranked number one, great. But if no one stays to watch your video, it doesn't matter. YouTube just stops promoting it. You don't show up in search results. You'll stop ranking. You won't show up in suggested or recommended or anything like that. But there's plenty of videos that don't do tags at all, but YouTube promotes it in the algorithm because there's so much watch time, right? People spend a lot of time watching these videos. And a kind of test to this was that I made a 19-minute video this week, which I was really nervous about because, you think the instinct is to think that shorter videos are the better ones, right? But I had such a high average view duration on that video. And what I said in that video is stuff that I feel like ties into that motivation that goes beyond just the how to, because it was about like not feeling good enough to be creating on YouTube. Right. So that right there is a perfect example of like, there's no right or wrong answer. It's more of like the encouragement to get people to keep going and to see a different perspective so that you don't stop yourself. You don't think that you aren't good enough. So then you stop. Right. And so yeah, anyway, I think that that's where I'm going to go. So I guess the takeaway for anyone watching who's trying to grow a YouTube channel is like, I'm 3.5 years into this and I'm just coming to this revelation today, and I don't want that to discourage you in terms of like, yeah, it's going to take a long time, but it is an ongoing journey. It is a lifestyle, as cheesy as that sounds. Like if this all goes according to plan, then YouTube just becomes a bigger part of your life, and I think that it's important to like recognize that there is data to be learned. There's experience and perspective to be gained every step of the way. And I think as we as creators like try to think about how we are building our community, what is our community, who is our community, how are we encouraging a community and making a community thrive on our channel based on our topic, our niche, our subject, or whatever our content is about. But then also like, how is our brand remarkable? How is our brand different from anybody else? Like, what do we bring to the table? And I think that like, especially if you're thinking whether you're good enough or not, I know like, I struggle with this all the time. Like, who am I to teach YouTube? I don't even have 10,000 subscribers. I could always throw that to anybody who feels like they're not good enough for whatever their niche is or whatever kind of content that they want to create. I could always throw that right back at them. Like, who am I to coach or teach about YouTube, right? But as long as we're always thinking about like what our end goal is, every single thing that we create contributes to making that end goal a reality. And every, I don't want to say flaw, but like things that might make us feel like we're not good enough are actually the things that make you stand out. Like I hone in on the fact that, yeah, I don't have 10,000 subscribers, but like I believe that every story is worth sharing. Everyone has a story worth sharing. So like how am I believe my story is worth sharing. That's why I started sharing it. And that's what matters to me. And if that if people are more interested in like, I want to be taught by someone who has 100,000 subscribers, and those people exist. And that's not my audience. And that's totally cool, because I want my people to subscribe to my channel because my people make up my community. My people become my customers, my clients, my super fans, my people that will be here through thick and thin. Like we are in this together. And so if you feel like, oh, I suck, or, I don't really like this part of me, or I don't like, I hate washing myself, or whatever your insecurity is, like hone in on it. Try to see if you can actually make that a thing on your channel, because that is how you're going to stand out. That's how no one else is you. I know that's so cheesy, but it's so freaking true. Like straight up, it's just the black and white truth. There's no one else. There's no other person. Like you are the only you. So even the things that make you insecure, like those those are unique to you. And if there's a way that you can kind of fold that in so that number one, you don't let it stop you from creating, and two, people who have that insecurity could be your people. Like they have that same insecurity too, and maybe that's part of the brand is like, I don't know, you have like, one of the things I talk about on this channel is ADHD. Like I'm totally not ashamed about it because for a lot of reasons, because, one big reason was I was diagnosed at 30. So like, like this is just who I am. I'm at a point in my life where this is just who I am, man. I'm not about to be embarrassed about that. But I talk about it. And I get so many comments from people who have found those videos and are really inspired and moved by them, and that's just an example of how like maybe that's how you can tie something into your channel and kind of add more of a unique factor into your brand. So I'm just checking my notes to make sure I covered everything. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today is like, the things that I've really been working on is like, how am I building a community? How do you build a community? By giving, by caring, by serving, and then focusing on the end goal of the brand. Do not focus, Heather, do not focus on the success of one video because, dude, it's not about the one video. It's about the brand. You know this. But every single time you hit upload and you just constantly check whether people are watching and whether it's ranking and all of that, it could be really discouraging. But, we're trying to focus on the thing that matters. And that's what matters, right? All right. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to check here in the comments. Jeffrey Van Dyke says, "Hi, Heather. Love your channel. Love your journey. I've learned a lot from you and hope to learn more as I prepare to start my own channel. I'll be a personal development journey kind of place." That's great. That's awesome. I definitely think that we could always use more of that kind of positive content. And Jeffrey, of course, if you want more like specific YouTube tips and tricks, not really tricks, but how-tos and stuff, definitely check out my tutorial channel at youtube.com/Sharespark Media. But that's awesome. If you have any questions, like I'd love to know how I can better serve you and help you achieve your goal of bringing that YouTube channel to life. So, all right. So I think I'm going to end it here, but I guess my challenge for you guys, I want to leave a challenge after every one of these episodes, is to actually make a list, like say, have a weekly list of things that you did to give, okay, to go above and beyond to give. This is Gary V, who's one of my heroes. He has the whole jab, 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 right hook. So it's like you give, you give, you give, and then you ask for something. How are you giving more so than anybody else in your niche? How are you showing that you care? Are you responding to comments? Especially if you're just growing your channel. Dude, anytime like someone comments on my channel, I go check out their channel. I'm like, hey, you took some time to check out my channel. I'm gonna go check out yours. And then I watch a video, I leave a comment, and that's cool. Like, it shouldn't just be all about you. Again, going back to that community aspect, right? And then how are you serving? How are you serving? And I know this sounds like really weird, but especially in business, that's what a business is like we are serving our customers and clients, and they pay us for that, right? Whether we're selling a product or a service that provides value to their lives, that's what a business is. And honestly, if you haven't thought this way before, here's challenge part 2. I challenge you to approach your YouTube channel as if it were a business. Take it that seriously, because you're just gonna. I feel like when you take it seriously, give yourself permission to take it seriously. I honestly believe that you're gonna get there faster, instead of just like this thing that you do on the side and you're still kind of like scared to talk about it or whatever. No, like this is a serious thing. It's not just YouTube videos. I mean, the opportunities and the potential that can happen once you build a brand on YouTube are endless. I mean, we've seen it over and over again. So anyway, those are my challenges for you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you have any feedback on this podcast show, I would love to hear it. Leave it in the comments. And with that said, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.